Some African countries are very unhappy with Uganda right now. They're very angry, matter of fact. A lot of Pan-Africanists are criticizing the president of Uganda, this man right here, Yoweri Museveni. Very interesting human being. He's very interesting. He says the mouth is for eating, it's not for putting it into, listen to him.
These Western societies do not appreciate politeness. Let me take this opportunity to warn our people publicly about the wrong practices indulged in and promoted by some of the outsiders. One of them is what they call oral sex. The mouth is for eating. Okuria, cham. The mouth is for eating, not for sex. We know the address of sex. We know where sex is.
The president of Uganda said that the mouth is for eating. So do not use your mouth to put it between somebody's legs or something. I mean, who came up with that though? Have you ever sat down and thought who came up with that? Who taught Africans that you should put your mouth into... Okay, let's get back on track. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. My name is Zack. Thank you for coming. We like you here. Hey, we appreciate you. We see you. Your first time? You're welcome. This is home. You want to know about the motherland? You're at the right place. Today, we're talking about Uganda, this country right here on the map. As you can see, beautiful place, lovely people. Some of the most joyous people I have ever met. Very happy. They party on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Non-stop. Very happy. Relatively very secure country. You actually don't have to look behind your back in most cases. You know, you can just go and have a party and have, a good time. It's a beautiful place. I suggest you go visit Uganda. It's called the Pearl of Africa. Very happy people. Very smart too. Anyway, Uganda. Now, people are very angry at Uganda. Why? Because the president of Uganda has come up with an agreement with the United States of America to accept deportees from the US back to Uganda. And many Africans are not happy because it feels like betrayal. How do you feel about that? Ugandan president accepting to take in Africans because he says he preferably wants Africans. And Africans are not happy about that. How do you feel about that? Is that betrayal? Is it betraying Africans by accepting to accept Africans back to Africa that are rejected in America? Well, let me put it this way for you. Perhaps you need to understand the context. In Africa, in most countries, people don't like their countries. I'm sorry, I know it sounds weird. No, it's more complicated than that. It maybe is, but the bottom line is people don't really very much like to stay in the country comparatively to having an opportunity to live in London, Paris, or New York. So many African people will prefer living in London, Paris, or New York than staying in Ouagadougou, Cotonou, Kinshasa, Gabon, Libreville, and stuff like that. Why? Because they perceive these other countries, European and American countries, as better places to be because they feel there are better opportunities, more money, and stuff like that. Is it true? Question mark. Because there are many Africans that go to Europe, don't come back. Why? Because they don't have money. Now, let me put it this way for you so you can understand. Africans are willing to fast 30 days without drinking, eating, or swallowing saliva for 30 days so they can get a visa to go to London. Nigerians, you name it. Let's pay Nigerians. People pray about that. The bottom line is when they go to London, when they come back with an accent. They'll come back after 2 days in London and they'll go like, I need some water. Please give me some water. What's this? I want my bread with butter. No dry bread. Where's the butter? Yeah, that's what Africans do. Okay, on a serious note, many African people sell their land to get money so they can bribe somebody at the embassy so their visa can be delivered. You got it right. So the compound, like a Nigerian said, or the yard, a part of a yard can be slashed into two. They will sell one part of the yard to somebody urgently so they can have a consistent amount of money. That money will be used to bribe somebody who's a local that works in the embassy of the country they want to go to. And that person will facilitate their doc. Perhaps he will say, this is my cousin or this is my nephew. I'm trying to get him to go study. And they're going to help you get a visa. Now, they sell their land for that, unfortunately. Why? Because they feel like life otherwise is better over there. Now, why do the parents accept that? Because the parents believe that too. Now, when Africans go to these countries, in most cases, they don't want to go back to their homeland. Why? Because they don't have the money to show for their travel. When you traveled selling things that's crucial to your family, well, then you have to show why you traveled by the time you go back. So even though they can come back to Africa, some will spend 20 years in Europe, 25 years, and never been to Africa. Why? Because he's not rich. Because a lot of Africans expect their siblings, when they travel to Europe and America, to come back as rich people. It is, matter of fact, embarrassing for somebody to go back to his homeland when he's not rich. It's very sad, and it's very true. Anyway, in Uganda, they're going to accept these Africans because Donald Trump said he doesn't want you no more. You must go back to your country. So if you are a criminal, number one. Number two, if your asylum seeking was not accepted, meaning you went to America and you said that you were in danger, your continent or your country was looking for you to unalive you because you said some negative things about the government, and they can prove that you were telling lies, well, they're going to send you, if not to your country because you're scared they're going to unalive you, they will send you to Uganda, the pearl of Africa. Pick up my coffee. Yeah, Uganda. My brother, you see Nyashi, you forget your motherland. Yes, Uganda is the country with the Nyashest people you can possibly think about. Good quality. Anyway, let's not get Nyashit into your nation. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is people are not happy. Yes, the Ugandan government has come up with an agreement with the US government right now. The two parties are working on details and modalities on how the agreement shall be implemented. The country foreign minister added in his statement. So they're agreeing on the details. Well, in most cases, people do things for reasons, right? Nobody does things for free anymore nowadays. So what is Uganda gaining? Well, the probability are very interesting. People believe that an improved diplomatic and economic relation with the United States of America. Uganda may be seeking to improve its standing with the US administration. Remember, the United States of America and Uganda went clash to clash, back to back, face against face with Biden administration. Matter of fact, Uganda was pushed aside because Uganda voted a law, prohibiting men to like other men, okay? And that was viewed very negatively with the Biden administration. Matter of fact, they trying to force the president to change the law, to revoke the law. He didn't. He said the law has been chosen and voted by the people of Uganda, the leadership of Uganda. I am not changing this. And what they did was they stopped sending money they used to send to Uganda to help people living with HIV. US used to provide money for that, about $300 million a year. They stopped sending the money because Uganda, MPs chose to ban that activity. And later on, because Uganda did not beg, because that president's money, he doesn't beg. He doesn't give a continental. He didn't beg. He didn't say sorry. The next thing, he took a flight to Moscow. That was, imagine, at a time where Moscow just invaded Ukraine. He's like, you know what? You think you're clever? Well, I'm going to Moscow. You can do whatever you want. You think my country needs your money? That's what he did. And they kicked them off any possibility of getting money from the IMF. The IMF is the organization that provides funds to many poor countries. So poor countries in Africa especially, they go to IMF. IMF is an organization that have a lot of money. From who? Question mark. But they will provide whichever country that needs money so they can go and build schools, hospitals, orphanage, road, or whatever they want if it's justified. So a country leadership can go to IMF, say, we need money to build schools or a railroad. Please give us money. IMF will give them money to do it, provided they reimburse in some ways. Now, Uganda is also a beneficiary, like many African countries, of the IMF. And after they voted that law, they were kicked off. So their relationship with the IMF and the United States have been to the south. And now with the Trump administration that sort of supports also those ideologies, they're trying to revive the relationship. Uganda is a good friend of Russia. It also works with good books with the United States of America. Now, is the Ugandan government wrong, or the president, by saying he's going to accept all these Africans that are going to be rejected from the USA? Well, again, like I said earlier, many Africans will sacrifice a lot of things to go to the United States of America. And seeing an African country accept to take them in, for them is like betrayal. Why do you do that? I've worked so hard to send my child to America illegally. Well, let him stay there illegally. You do not accept to bring him here. Because this is a very similar thing that's what happened with Rwanda back in time, when Rwanda agreed with the United Kingdom to take in all the refugees from Africa. The United Kingdom gave Rwanda like a few hundreds of millions of dollars to build infrastructure and apartments and, homes for the people that were going to be rejected from the UK. All the Africans were going to Rwanda, and from Rwanda they processed the request to go to the UK, which obviously was impossible to be positive. But Rwanda was going to make the money, and many Africans were angry at Rwanda. Why did Rwanda do this? Rwanda's a snitch, whatever. Now, the question is, should Rwanda accept not the money it's being offered just because you decide to sell your land and go to the UK illegally? Well, Rwanda has to capitalize, make money, build roads, infrastructure for the people, because the people of Rwanda, unlike many other African countries, don't necessarily, okay, everybody goes, but not as much as many African nations trying to go to other countries. They do try to go, yes, but as much as that, no, not necessarily. So should Rwanda say no? Well, Uganda is looking at the people. They're trying to do the same as Rwanda to make money. Well, some African countries have accepted the deal with Donald Trump. South Sudan, Rwanda, Rwanda, Uganda, Swaziland, and some other countries, are they doing wrong? Are they snitching? Are they not good Africans? Let me know how you feel about this. And now we're going to Europe, fellas. Europe. Ursula von der Leyen. Have you heard of this lady? Well, yeah, this lady right here. She's one of the top people in Europe. Okay, now, the European Union claimed that Ursula von der Leyen was traveling to Bulgaria, and what happened was they claimed that there was a blatant interference by the Russians. The Russians jammed the aeroplane GPS. So Russia jammed Ursula von der Leyen's GPS as she was trying to land in Bulgaria, making it very difficult for her. We can indeed confirm that there was GPS jamming, but the plane landed safely in Bulgaria. We had received information from the Bulgarian authorities that they suspect that this was due to a blatant interference by Russia. The US Commission spokesperson Ariana Podesta told the press conference in Brussels. They said the Russians jammed the GPS system of the airplane. Now you must ask yourself a question. Why would the Russians try to jam this lady's GPS? We're going to find out about that. The Bulgarian government has also confirmed by saying that the airplane had to rely on alternative navigation tools while landing. So they had to bring in the papers back, bring in the map. Let's turn to the right, turn to the left before they, so that must be very traumatic. I can just imagine. The GPS has been jammed. Come on. Very scary. Well, this lady has said many things about Russia, especially Vladimir Putin. These are some of the things she said in the past. This is a clash between the rule of law and the rule of the gun, between democracies and autocracies, between the rule-based order and the wall of naked aggression. So she's saying that, Putin is a naked aggression, crazy stuff. Now, she's also said that Putin cannot be trusted, he can only be deterred. So she's known as a person, let's go to war kind of human being. She likes war. I don't know why. She's never been to war, but she wants to arm Ukraine and go bomb Russia. That's what she's about. Well, but this time we know what she did in Bulgaria. Number one, she met with the Prime Minister Rosen Zelakov. Number two, she visited VMZ Sopot, the country's leading on-state defensive enterprise. She went to meet the leaders of a company in Bulgaria that create weapons. Why? Number three, she announced a US investment plan to expand ammunition production and modernize facility and build a gunpowder plant expected to create 1,000 new jobs. So she's creating 1,000 new jobs by creating a place that can have a plant of ammunition production and modernized facilities. So guns. Number four, she emphasized Bulgaria's crucial role in supporting Ukraine, noting that 1/3 of the weapons used in Ukraine originate from Bulgaria. A message was clear. Europe must be ready to defend itself, as Putin's military economy shows no sign of slowing down. Okay, so the lady is clearly anti-Putin. Okay, and Putin made her see some Putinesque things let's just check the airplane a little bit. Is that right or wrong? Well, let me know how you feel about this. Uganda in the hot waters from Africans, not happy to see Uganda making a decision to accept Africans that will be rejected by Donald Trump. Is this right or wrong? Shouldn't Africans go back to the country and go fix your country? If not, fix the next country. I mean, I understand some countries are really shithole, but you could go to the next Africa. I mean, there are some good African countries where things are moving. People are decent. They don't hate you for doing good in life. Yeah, they are. I understand. Listen, don't be surprised, my brother, from the United States of the Caribbean. We are all the same people. We have the same demons, hate, jealousy. We don't want other people to do good. Yeah. Don't let them call you my brother. That's just cover up. The reality is when you ask them to really show you brotherhood, to contribute €1 so you can do great. No, they don't want to do that. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. Before you leave, please don't forget to do this. Is it done? Great. Now, comment. Please write a comment. Do right. I've got all my time. God bless.